Recently I had a discussion with a friend of mine that lives in the UK, and we were talking about American healthcare and with the healthcare in UK and how they're fighting to keep what they have there right now. And I got to talking about my recent situation with insurance bills and stuff, and she asked me about some of the things that people don't see with American healthcare that is not even acknowledged, because a lot of people just look like you either have insurance or don't have insurance, and then that's the two ways you basically die in this country, or live. And I was saying one of the things I don't think people get is that insurance companies purposely set up a system to beat you down to make you not even want to use the insurance. It's almost like the sales trick of saying I'll give you a money back guarantee. No, most people's not going to ask for a money back guarantee. So you might have a few people, but for the most part, nobody's going to ask for their money back. But insurance companies do that thing where in our taxes are like that in the States too, which is a similar discussion I had with her also was about our taxes here. And they make the system so complicated. It's made that way on purpose. It's solely made that way. The wording and everything. It's made to confuse people, the browbeat people, to beat people down. Browbeat's not the right word. Beat people down into a situation that makes it even worse than they were in before. And what insurance companies do, one thing people don't look at is how the blows and the things they do to harm people is also to keep people from also using the insurance in the future, because they'd rather you not use it at all. They'd rather you just pay them, and you're paying that monthly fee, or not monthly, like every 2 weeks off your check, and they'd rather you just pay that and never ever actually use your insurance, because they don't want to pay anything. With little they do. And I'll reiterate the fact that I actually have good insurance compared to some people. The situation that happened to me with my kidney stones was basically in the rear. I've talked about this before, but I had a situation where I had kidney stones bad for a few years. And I had bad stomach problems. They even thought maybe colon cancer and all this other stuff. And I finally got it x-rayed by somebody at a walk-in clinic, because my regular doctor was believing everything except for kidney stones, even though I've had them in the past. But I got this x-ray to find out I had a huge stone. And I set about going to all these different doctors. I had to go see 18 doctors before I got an appointment to have surgery for it. Okay, got that scheduled. Right before it was supposed to get surgery, it was like 2 months out from the time when I finally got an appointment. 2 months out. So, Marsh scared the crap out of me knocking on the door of the car. Where was I? Oh, yeah. I was talking about the inch. Okay. I got my appointment to have my kidney stone, the surgery done. Uh, and it was like a long time from actually getting the appointment to the appointment. Then, so I was going through fucking hell. Like, there was times at work when I would just go to the bathroom and lay on the floor. Like, it was killing me all the fucking time. It's all I spent any breaks was like, yeah. So every day I went home from work, like I was laying on the couch. But anyways, because this got delayed, I ended up having to go to emergency one time when it was just hurting so bad I couldn't take it. And I like I said, I'd already been told it was like a huge kidney stone. Like normally you don't pass these ones that are this freaking big. You gotta have surgery. So it gotten that bad, and I'd had kidney stones in the past before, and really hurt a fucking lot. But I had to go to the emergency room. So we went to the emergency room. They did scans, everything x-rays, whatever you call it, fucking everything, fluids, gave me some pain pills, and sent me on my way. Okay, the week before I was supposed to actually have the surgery, I had to go to the emergency room again. It got that bad again. Pain was so bad, I told Mara, I was like, please don't leave me alone, because I'll fucking do something. Like, I was like, it was that bad. So we went to the emergency room the second time. The second time I went, we seen the same doctor, the same hospital. The doctor said, we can do the surgery here, but if we do it here, it's going to cost a lot more, and your insurance is not going to pay for most of it. She told us that flat out. By the way, these are also a lot of anxiety, because every time we went to emergency rooms were full of COVID people. So we went, that second time, and then I went to get my surgery finally. I get all that done and stuff like that. By the way, before they would even do the surgery, this place told me I had put like $500 down, not deposit, but into the bill, plus set up a credit card payment plan. So I do that, because they wouldn't even do the surgery if I didn't do that. Which I think they're the only place around here that does it and stuff like that. But so anybody can tell you can get treatment, but it might put you in debt. Sometimes you can't even get fucking treatment. So, but I had the money, I did it, fine. Once the surgery was done and everything, I was on that payment plan, which was like $200 once a month. Okay, I knew my insurance was going to pay all the credit emergency room bills. At first, what I got back was like each visit was like a couple $100, and then I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll pay it after I pay these other things. They'll just get in line. And what's really bad in the States is everything can be separate, and sometimes some of the stuff your insurance won't cover, which is against the law, I think, in Florida, but like laws apply to poor people. So the insurance company was going to pay some of it. So I start paying little things. I got that payment plan going, and I start paying little things. And all of a sudden, another bill pops up from my emergency room doctor. And it's a payment to the doctor directly, not to the hospital that did the surgery. And it's all of a sudden like, I think it's like $800. And I was like, fuck, I thought this was, but oh no, this is a separate bill for the doctor. And now 2 days later, I get one, it's like a separate bill for the anesthesiologist. I think is the person knocks you out. That's a big word for Elmo. So like I get a bill from them, and I'm like, fucking shit. So I paid those and got my payment plan. I paid those off with like 2 full checks, and I still paying on that payment plan, which is supposed to be for like 14 months or whatever. And then all of a sudden, I'm looking on my portal, and for people that may be similar where you don't have insurance, or people who've never had it, you have a portal you can look at, which you can find out places that your insurance will cover. If you go to there, places that use your insurance, by the way, that's what I meant. And you can see things you're being charged for, or it's hitting your account, like your card. And it's really confusing in that aspect, because your portals a lot of times will have the total amount the hospital's billing, what the insurance might be paying, and what you're expected to pay, and sometimes those things can fluctuate back and forth, so you really don't know what the fuck you even know from one week to another sometimes. And this can be a long time. You can have something 2 years later, the insurance all of a sudden decide they're not paying it, and you can get a fucking bill for it. Anyways, so all of a sudden, I got this bill from both. I seen it on my portal, these bills from both emergency room visits, where the insurance was only going to cover a few $100s and nothing else. And I will tell you, if you don't know, an emergency room visit, total out of pocket, it's a lot of money. I had two of them. So the insurance was saying they weren't going to pay most of this stuff. Hardly any of it, actually. And it's one of those things like, and this is not the numbers, but it's one of these things like where people are like, well, your insurance paid $700. Yeah, but they're not paying $36,000 or something like that. You know what I mean? It's like, that didn't mean fuck. They might as well not have paid anything. So I get these two huge bills here. Plus all these little ticky-tacky paying separate for, like, fucking, I don't know, the price for the person taking my name when I walked in or something like that. That they bill you separately a lot of times for. So, anyways, so that's one of the things I was talking to her about, is like, people don't get it even when you have insurance. If you have some of these situations, it will fuck your brain up from even using your insurance. Like, I've talked several times about, like, I should just get rid of my fucking insurance. I'm not using it. But it'll pay a lot for me just to go to, fucking doctor or something like that. And they're not counting when you have to hit those goals. Like, if you go to the doctor, like, every week for a year, then they'll pay it all after that. If you hit a certain number, it's like, so you're telling me if I spend all this money, then at the end you'll give me a prize. Fuck you. It's just, it's such a racket and such extortion and manipulation of people. And a lot of people will tell you all these. It's really weird that we had to find all these little tricks of having to say stuff to insurance companies or hospitals to try to get stuff even reduced. Like, if you ask for an itemized bill, they'll reduce it. Not always. Or if you, like, say, like, well, I'm not going to pay it at all. But, I had one of the bills, which is already being turned over to collections, by the way. And even after I had these two huge ER bills, also the insurance wasn't paying most of it, I asked them, I talked to them, and I said, can you just get in line and I will make my way to you? Might take a while, but I'll make my way to you. And they were like, well, we need this amount of money. And I was like, okay, but can you wait? I don't get paid that much. I'm already paying almost $200 to $300 one check, which is almost my whole check during normal times. I make a little bit more during the summer. No, we can't wait. We need something from you now. I mean, we can't wait. You fucking cut off a limb, I guess, or something. We need that pound of flesh now. So, they turned me over to a collections agency. Didn't even take long for them to do it. So, they kept calling me, so I basically told them, I was like, you ain't getting a cent from me. And they're like, yes, we'll screw up your credit. Fuck, it took me 10 years to get my credit straight from hospital bills before of things that were wrong with me. 10 years to straighten out that shit when I didn't have any insurance. And you want to all of a sudden come up and say, like, oh, it's a threat, basically, like, and then they were like, well, you might have to have your wages garnished. Okay. And before people say there's protections about that, it's all about how it's enforced. And I did talk to a lawyer about this. And it's all about how the perception is of how much money you make. If they perceive you making so much money, it can hurt you. And then you have to fight it through courts and stuff like that. And I was telling the lawyer when I was talking to him, I was like, well, if I try to fight it, I'm going to have to spend a fortune paying a lawyer and everything else. And he's like, yeah, just have bad credit for another 10 years and basically it wipes off your record after that. So basically, like, fuck yourself over for 10 years because these fuckers won't do what you're fucking paying them to do, which is insurance is such a racket. And we put up with this shit. This video's getting too long. Got me ranting a long ways. I wish I could do succinct little videos. It's not that good at it. Did any of that make any sense to anybody? Because if it didn't, it shouldn't, because it doesn't make any sense.